to other.
Yes, thank you. Like I said, we dwell on his speech, just like Kenneth correctly pointed. It was empty and stupid. That ends that story. Now, when it comes to the issue of rice, it goes to tell you of stupidity and incompetence of this administration. If they were, if they wanted to distribute the rice in good faith, right? Have distributors and known wholesalers across the country. All you have to do is make this grain available to these wholesalers and say, you know what, you get from the government at 2 naira and you go at 6 naira. And any ton, Dick and Harry can go to any place and get their rice at that price. That is if the government wanted actually to address this problem in good faith. But like, as you know, people have figured out how to make money. From the guy who is going to be the contractor to bring rice to the guy who is going to be stopping. So that is the issue. And then finally, I think what has happened here is the beginning of what a long time ago I was talking about, the consciousness of our people. And it's unfortunate that it has to get to where everybody is hungry, that we have to realize that the enemy is the people in Aso Rock and government houses. That it is not the stupid nonsense that the pastors who are co-collaborators telling you that your old and hungry uncle in the village is the one who hijacked your destiny. The destiny of these young people has been hijacked by the people in the State House and the people in Aso Rock. And if they are serious, that is where they will need to regain it. I don't have much to say, but I will keep them in my prayers. We are doing our own here because, like you see, the US election is coming up. We have mobilized and we have already sent in our demand to Kamala Harris. And it's good that we already have a data of Nigerians here in the United States who can vote. And we're telling him the only way we can get a block vote is not to have a passive and lip service to the issue happening in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So much, Mazikali, for that. Again, network issues happening, and the previous broadcast was cut short. But let's start again with another, Mr. Bassi. Please tell us your views on this. We are on yet another quarter. The network is really bad, but we are struggling to see how we uphold it, pushing from different angles. Mr. Bassi, please tell us your take on all of this happening on protest day 6 and concerning the rice thing, 40,000 naira must fill Google form, and again seeing protest day 6, weakest residents, resubmission of demands to his residents and all of that. Please tell us your take on this.
Kanu, evening and Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient, worldwide, wherever you are listening from. My take in all of this is that first I want to students of Nigerians who have been out in the street, civilians, their courage, despite all provocation, all the antics of government to suppress this protest, using the judiciary as a tool to perpetuate this evil. I just got a news that in Lagos State, the judiciary have issued another order that the protest cannot go beyond 7 days. Where on earth do you hear that, except in Nigeria? So this is what it is. The entire been hijacked, and this is where we are at this moment. So I want to salute the courage of Nigerians who are still protesting peacefully, and at the same time, I want to on all the youths to, as much as they can, to protest civil and violent free. We don't have any reason to lose in the course of trying to fight for our right. Let us ensure that escalate, allow it to escalate into violence, as is being portrayed by government in other places. Meanwhile, it's government that is okay seeing in across the country, but they'll always turn back and say, okay, it's the protesters. This is the reason why we said there shouldn't be protests, you know. So let us not give in to all as price that has been we have to purchase by having to go and sign a Google form. It just shows you that this government is bereft of ideas, because and in the first place their intention, their motive was not even right in the first place. How do you expect, if this rice was meant for the common people who are starving, why would you ask that they should be going through a Google form? You would have said you are for stand, rather than say you have released rice, because how many women will be able to buy rice that will go around all the people? A civil servant who can only purchase what is he can afford family. A civil servant that earns 70,000 minimum wage, by the time he takes out 40,000, what is left there for him or her? So it just shows you how that this
They
government
have
is
not
not
started paying them the minimum wage.
assuming they have even started. So this is the government that is not sincere. You know, they keep using this thing to the public, try to deceive the public. It's unheard of. So I just don't understand why this is happening in this country. And the well-meaning Nigerians have been speaking before now. None of them is speaking now. The Save Nigerian movement. Where are they now? Where are those people? They've all gone under. So Nigeria is better now than what it used to be in their own estimation. This is hypocrisy at the highest level. So Nigerians will continue to fight. Let us compete and demand for good governance and demand for corruption-free environment, the nation. Let us continue to occupy space and make our peace clear, so that they can hear. Nigeria, I have heard you loud and clear. If you have heard Nigerian loud and clear, you would have taken certain steps to address the demands of Nigerians, but you didn't do that. Rather, you came to tell us that you have done this, you've done that, you've done that. For 1 year, we've not seen the effect of what you have done in the system. Rather, what we are seeing is, continuous poverty in the land. This is where, and the Nigerians, please, I'm encouraging you. Let us keep the momentum, sustain it to the till we hear the intervention at this moment.
Or that very wonderful conversation with you. And let's quickly come back to studio and then see what is happening on the street and what protesters has to say right there on the streets. Let's take a listen to this. We'll come back. We'll not go to.
Reflected on the reason why we are protesting. There was nothing said about insecurity. There was nothing said about inflation. There was nothing said about unemployment and the cost of living. Nothing said about cost of governance that is incredibly high. So I stand here to say that the president is out of tune of the reasons why we are suffering, of the reasons why we are protesting. And I tell you the truth, we are not ending this protest anytime soon until the government drastically addresses this issue. And of course, they are taking us as a joke, giving us how to protest, giving us where to protest, time to protest and all whatnot. But I tell you, this citizen you are taking for granted will get charged up. And if government do not take careful, I do not know how the result will turn out to be. But let me quickly say again, that these things we are saying is not what the president cannot do in record time. This thing is not what the president cannot do in less than 2 days. What is there in cutting the cost of governance? What is there in enacting policy, in reducing even this fuel price for the minimum time? These are things president can do, and I do it just almost immediately. But waiting for the lives to be lost, waiting for that to be, for the situation to escalate. Man, just to tell you how the government is. How can people spend 21 billion in the house of the vice president? This is former vice president. Come on, that's a joke. In a country where we have over 100 million people unemployed and underemployed and unemployable. What are the schools? Nobody. The investment in the schools there are gone. They have gone the drain. What is the budget in the school? What is the budget in security? Look at how these police armed forces are gathered around, and we have insecurity in the north. People are being kidnapped. My own cousin was kidnapped, and we pay 16 million naira for ransom. You can imagine it. And we have security operation around here protecting nobody. Nobody. The anger in me cannot be contained. It cannot be contained, and the government had better start listening to the people. Look at what is happening in Venezuela. Look at what is happening in Bangladesh. The people you are taking for granted are getting angry as the day is going by. The government had the opportunity to address this issue, and they are not saying anything about it. Let the people not begin to react in a way government will not want. Let the government be one. The spontaneity that this protest needed may not be coming forth, but that does not mean that this protest cannot take the greater heights.
So these are the protesters, as we know, that are in the street, and they are really lamenting so badly about what is going on in Nigeria. And we just do hope that a whole lot of other Nigerians who are at home could join a peaceful protest so that we could at least make sure that the demands are met, especially the demand that has to deal with the increase in fuel pump price. As we heard, the prices of fuel PMS is now above 1,000 in certain areas. And of course, if it continues like that, the inflation, the hunger, and everything they're talking about will continue to be there. But it will take a whole lot of people. Now, joining us on this very conversation is Reverend Pete. Reverend Pete, welcome to the show this evening. Please tell us what you feel about the whole discussion about the protest, and of course, the issues surrounding this very particular incident that happened today. People went to Wike's house, that is a protester, to submit to him their demand, of course, in Port Harcourt, in his private residence. And of course, we also want to hear your reactions about the rice across Nigeria. It is all about rice. Reverend Pete.
Reverend
TV. Yeah. Thank you to the crew and the people in the zone. I want to say thank you to every listener. I want to start by saying that I will commend the Nigerians youth that have come out for the past 6 days for their right. I want to thank them for their consistent and their responsibility. I want to thank them because they stood on behalf of Nigerians, even where some others are in their houses. And like I told my wife, I said, if there's any person that was supposed to come out that did not come out, and at the end of it, if it comes to pass that the government yield And if that person benefits from it, God is not going to forgive that person because he's eating from where he did not sow. That is that. And the issue of the flag, that is what I do not support. The people, we don't Russia, we don't. Nigerians they are ready and they are capable. It's our own country. Then we have to stand up for it. We don't need to invite anybody from. We don't need external interference. Russians, those who are coming with foreign flags, let them please drop that idea because we did it. And I want to talk about the so-called General Christopher Musa, who came out in like he did in the past days, threatening and speaking in ways that are irresponsible, because there is no business between the army. I am here. I vote. I take part in the politics here. There is no soldier has ever come out to say anything concerning a civil situation. They are not invited. You cannot even set in the street because the barracks is the place. There is no war. So that concerns Nigeria, and it has been coming out. The other time he was telling the people what, and since he a campaign to Tinubu, this thing has you cannot continue. And in the state, you discover that the people will come up to say that we are bringing a successor, whereas all that you have done is to destroy the well-being, and yet they discover this warehouse where they kept the rice, and one of these warehouse belongs to a member of PDP. So how? Because they want to keep them and reback them because they are going to use them to campaign. What a nonsense! And I am very happy that the Edo State have found this, and is a message to them that they need to be careful of the Obaseki and his friends, because the Edo is not for one person, it's for everyone, and whatever the federal government brought to that place is for everybody, not for a political party. And the APC, anyway, I'm not surprised in case of Tinubu and the APC, because
also
you can understand.
Reverend, talking about the APC, we also saw where youths were of looting the headquarters of APC or APC campaign office somewhere in the north. Either it's in Daura, that is where Buhari comes from. Let's take a look at that very thing that is happening over there in Daura, where we saw the video that is trending, where protesters actually climbed the roof of that very Daura. And if, of course, the production team don't have that, let's take on the police firing tear gas at protesters as we come back. Just hold on.
That was it. Because the APC and Tinubu, they came with a broom. And with the broom they came with is to sweep and clear the economic and the peace of Nigeria. They swept the economic away. They swept away the joy and the peace of Nigerians with their broom. And now they brought in corruption.
Out. So I just want to bring to your attention. They've moved out.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly take a commentary from the protesters that the police fired tear gas at day 6. Let's take a listen to that. We'll come back. Tony, be on standby, please.
Stadiums are used for various events, including sports, concerts, cultural, political events, festivals, and fairs. It has now become another arena for the ventilation of grievances against the state. That's the situation at the MK Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, where the court has confined Nigerians protesting against the high cost of living. On Monday, protest activities at the venue were grounded as a combined team of fierce-looking police, military and civil defense operatives took control. A major fracas was then averted between pro- and anti-government protesters with tear gas canisters and bombing of guns. Courageous driver of the vehicle conveying the protesters fled the occupants, although not without the dangerous smokes. A lawyer and human rights activist, Kingdom Okere, shares his thoughts about the protest with a call on President Bola Tinubu to remove corruption and the petroleum subsidy.
Tinubu should probe the subsidy regime. First of all, remove the man that presided over corruption in the sum that made all of us to be suffering. Tinubu, we are calling on you. Restructure subsidy. They say seek ye the kingdom of God first. Other things shall follow. Tinubu, return subsidy. Every other thing will follow.
While some have continued to demand a reduction in the cost of governance, others describe President Tinubu's speech on Sunday as empty, saying the protest is a battle of no retreat, no surrender.
Every patriotic Nigerian will not destroy. We believe in non-violence. And so when you say you want to push people, you are choking people and you say they cannot cry. You know, they gave you days to be able to talk to them. I thought there should have been typical decisions that were made to bring down either the cost of governance, either in terms of what you are going to do, stepping up the 10 demands of the how many demands. Nigerians have their demands. Almost everybody has a demand.
And they are using subsidy to do corruption. If he knows that he has come to stop corruption, as he has said, let him sack the GM of NNPC. We will keep on coming here till he has addressed the needs of the people. What he has addressed now is the needs of the elite, political elite and governors. So he didn't address our needs. We will be coming till we see that nobody will be calling your phone that they have not eaten since the day before yesterday.
With insistence of protesters to continue with their agitations on day 5 despite government's plea for dialogue, it is left to be seen on who will blink first between both parties.
So, Mr. Tony, as we can see that tear gas was fired again and the police continue to release, even when they see live bullets, shells on the floor, the IG of police has insisted that no live bullets has been used on protesters. And even what we are seeing as tear gas is people are being inhaling tear gas. Most people have become sick in Abuja. What do you have to tell us about all this happening, especially as the issue of rice has become the bane of every protest in Nigeria, the federal government says they supply 20 trucks of rice, but then the state governors are saying we did not and cannot find any 20 trucks of rice, and several other things that are happening. Tony, please tell us, what are your take on this?
And listeners, thank you for joining us today on Obidient Family TV regarding the protest going on in the country. On the governors, the few governors that are now trooping out to say that they've not received any trucks full of bags of rice, my question is, where were you all this while the government, it just sent out 20 trucks of rice to each state? And now is the time you're going to come out, because the president directly said something about the states. That's, that tells you that, are they protecting the government, central government, in their lies? Because we all know that they've been telling lies. They tell lies because they can get away with it. On the house visit by the protesters, I think it's a welcome sign that they went there to deliver the letter which he ought to have received in Abuja, but refused to do that. I thank them for going to his house to send it to him. And as a matter of fact, up north, there are two House Rep members that they also visited to send a message to them. But unfortunately, one of them, his mansion was set ablaze, unfortunately. But I think we can now begin to see that the protesters are not just focusing on the federal government. They're now going to the states, to House of Rep members. Now they should go to Senate members and the House of Assembly members to tell them that this corruption is killing us. That was one of the reasons up north, the protesters went to one of the House of Rep, because of corruption. There's too much corruption. You're not fulfilling them. And you think that we suffer from hunger while you guys are enjoying with impunity. You're not even hiding it. You're letting everybody know that you are enjoying your position as a legislator. Has become of hunger in this society. And in fact, a denominator everybody understands, an average Nigerian understands.
Any problem?
Yeah, because rice, everybody knows how much it costs. Even the minimum wage the president signed, which they've not, like you correctly indicated, they've not started paying, cannot buy a bag of rice. So it's become a common denominator. Everybody can easily understand. My other question is the labor movement, the NSC, the TUC. They're paying you 70,000 naira. You know you cannot buy a bag of rice. Everybody is suffering. You're going to use that 70,000 naira, go to market and shop for food, where you and I will also go to and shop for food. And if all this is happening, you didn't find it good enough to participate, because that could have swelled the number of people coming out to protest. I don't know why they're sitting on their butts. It behooves me. I can't understand that. Everybody's suffering. They are also suffering. They're workers. And now you sign a letter or sign a dotted line to buy a bag of rice for 40,000. I mean, give me a break. This country has hijacked. And I was surprised today. You see, when the military gets involved in third world countries, it's always the dictators, heads of state that are autocratic, that are in power, because they want to intimidate everybody. They want to kill some and hope that others take the cue and stop protesting against them. Enugu, there's no protest in Enugu. But why is it that along Ogui Road today, there was an army roadblock? Why? Why? Not police or army, causing go-slow traffic jam. You see, they just want to intimidate everybody, hoping that others will relax and the whole thing will die down. I hope that those young boys and girls, men and women, keep on doing what they're doing. You'll be remembered in history. History will remember you as being courageous, determined to effect a change in a system hijacked by corrupt individuals that to use every means possible, keep you away from your rights, and then cater away your resources and their cronies. This is terrible. A country where no crime pays. If you
thank you
and pay for bad deeds, the rest of them don't, and they get away with it.
Thank you.
God help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Very wonderful contribution to this. Lord K, please, your final words, because our time has really given us signal. And please, I want your final word to look at it from the Take Back Niger movement protest leader Michael Lenin, who was said to have been arrested or abducted by DSS in Abuja. And of course, there's another person, Abbas Abdullahi, who was also arrested 3 days ago, even before the protest began, that is in Kebbi State. And lots of other people who are actually being abducted, arrested, that are on a peaceful protest and not looters. What do you have to tell the government about this, and the people who are in Nigeria keeping quiet about all of this?
Well, my statement on that is going to be, the president himself has said that the protesters have done something that is peaceful. So him now sending his troop, sending his police, the DSS, out to go and become hooligans on the streets, arresting peaceful protesters, I think he should look into that. And if that demand for him to actually look into that arrest of these peaceful protesters is not meant tomorrow, not meant by the 8th day, then something else will emanate in general. Because now he is private of the human right. He has killed Nigerian citizens. He has used tear gas to, spoil a lot of people's health. So he is the one that should be looking into his own affairs right now. And for these protesters, I said he has until the 8th to release these guys in good health. Otherwise, there's something else that will come up from this. That's my word, and that's what we're standing by. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much on that. Mazikali, your final words, please, on this very... the people are being abducted by DSS, the police, and all the security operatives abducting innocent, the people who are protesting peacefully, the people who had not gone into looting, obstructing justice and all of that, but being oppressed by the police and by the DSS. Please, we are reaching out to everybody. We want to know what your final words on this, so that the word can get out there for people who are to take action for their release.
Thank you, Mr. Kanu, and the members of the panel. Like I had mentioned before, you know, if you look at the playbook of this administration and previous administration, it was to pick up people with no name recognition, this fear of terror, and they will not dare to try to arrest them because they know what the repercussion will be. So what they will do is to look for the weakest links in the chain, and those are the people down the road, the ordinary person they will pick up and then unleash terror to. Now, it's unfortunate that the army and the police have become the house slaves of, you know, the politicians. Very unfortunate. And you know very well the house slaves will do everything to protect their master. Even if it means doing that at their own detriment. The police is not feeling any better. I know how much the police are getting paid. I know how much an average soldier makes. But, like I said, they have that inner slave mentality. As long as the fat belly brigadier and the fat belly general will give them the command, they will do it. So, it's unfortunate. I don't know what to say other than to say that, you know, they will have to keep putting the pressure on them, on these guys.
Thank you so much.
And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mazikali, on that. And that is as much as we'll be taking. Thank you for all the who are joining us virtually via Zoom, the well-meaning Nigerians who had articulated their opinion on the 6th of the protest. And of course, tomorrow we'll be coming out live with a recap of what happened and also giving you updates of what happened. Finally, on the studio, I still have Mercy. Your final words, Mercy, as we're about to leave.
Yes, I want to encourage my fellow Nigerians out there who are yet to come out in the streets to join the well-meaning Nigerians out there. Please, it's very, very important. Remember that this is a fight for all, and the benefit that will eventually come out is a benefit for all. So please, let's endeavor to join the well-meaning Nigerians out there.
Wherever you are joining the protest from, try as much as you can to make it peaceful. Peaceful protest is what we want. We want to get our things heard and all of that. Thank you so much for being with us today. Yes, network was not that friendly. We can tell from in here, from the studio, we can tell the network has been bad, the bandwidth, whatever the government is doing to slow down the network. We keep pushing. Nigeria, there is hope. Until tomorrow, when we come your way again. Bye for now.